So anyway, basically I'm just thinking to myself, I'm a young 40-year-old gay man who at this point in time does not seem like I could ever have sex again, which is a lot to accept. Well, I guess I just wanted to talk about accepting my body after cancer. I haven't really made a full story video about going through cancer and my diagnosis and treatments and everything. But as I'm nearing the end of my journey here, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about accepting my body after cancer because a lot of things change and a lot of things are going to change yet. And it's just, I guess a lot of people don't talk about it or realize it. But anyway, so I was 39 when I was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer, and it had spread to my liver. So I had a tumor in my rectum and a tumor in my liver. But I had about 6 months of chemotherapy, and I've been through 3 surgeries, but they were done all at the same time. So there was one to remove the tumor from my rectum and do like a colon resection, and there was one to remove the tumor from my liver, and then there was a third one to put in an ileostomy, which basically just diverts everything from my colon so that it would have time to heal. But anyway, I'm 40 now, and like I said, I'm on the path to recovery. But the last thing I have left to do is just get the ostomy reversed, which thankfully it is being reversed. However, that just may lead to more problems. But anyway, I find out in the next year, in the new year, to see how that's all doing. But I just wanted to talk about accepting your body after cancer because it is different. I've always kind of struggled a little bit with my body and my appearance and whatever. It's different. That's a different story though, like, social media, male beauty standards and all that stuff. But, I've always kind of struggled with that, and something like this definitely doesn't help. I'm going to talk about my scars, which I will show you. Neuropathy, which is something that no one can see, but it's just something that I have to deal with, but I don't think it's going to be permanent. And I'm going to talk about my ostomy a little bit. And then finally, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my future as a gay bottom and what that means for me sexually. So if you're not interested in hearing about that, you can skip the end. But anyway, just growing up with, struggling to accept my body, basically, being always being told I'm too skinny and you need to eat a sandwich, you need to put meat on your bones. Over the years, that kind of causes one to develop a bit of a, I don't know, I don't want to say a complex, but you don't feel very confident in yourself, your body, being a man, having all these men in your life tell you that you're just scrawny and making fun of that. But I've always wanted to just look better. I mean, who doesn't, right? But I've never really been able to adopt the gym lifestyle. I mean, I have been going to the gym since I started chemo, because I was spending a lot of time at home not doing anything, so I was sitting around a lot. But going to the gym just kind of helped me stay active, just so I don't just become, a toad sitting here all year. But eventually it got to a point where I couldn't do the gym anymore. I just, I'm in bed for a week. Then I went into surgery, so I kind of just paused my gym membership. But it wasn't about getting, ripped. It was just about staying active and, maybe putting on a bit of muscle. But thankfully, I didn't lose a lot of weight during chemo. I made a point to eat as much as possible because I was already, too skinny as is. So everyone said in my childhood. But I just didn't want to lose any more weight. I've always struggled to put on weight, so I figured if I lost a bunch of weight on chemo, I probably wouldn't put it back on as easily. But anyway, I didn't lose weight, and I did lose my hair, thankfully. But anyway, yeah, so halfway through my treatments, I turned 40, and I guess I'm just also beginning to feel like I'm just getting old, especially in the gay world. It's like I'm 40, so I'm practically dead now. But I guess, yeah, I'm just trying to cling to my youthful good looks for as long as possible. So I guess that's why I was like trying to go into the gym, and I just want to stay fit. But anyway, I've gotten over all that. Now it's just accepting all the new changes. So the main and most obvious ones that people would be able to see would be my scars and my ostomy. So I'm gonna show you both. I have a bag, so you're not gonna see the actual intestine sticking out of my stomach, but those are the most obvious changes. That, I mean, a scar is a scar. A scar is just a story. So anyway, this is my scar. So you can see, whoops, it goes, what am I doing here? My camera's all backwards. All the way down to about here. So yeah, they had me split right open. And then this is the ostomy bag. So obviously it sticks to your body here. And then the little intestine pops out here. And then this bag just kind of snaps on. So it just clips, and then, you know, you can empty it out, whatever. But yeah, so like this is a pretty big scar, and I'll have one here too once this is reversed. But yeah, look at that. That is a lot of scar tissue. But anyway, yes, so that is the main change that you can see. But anyway, yeah, every day you just kind of accept it. Like the ostomy was really hard to accept at first because it's just kind of gross, especially when you see it without the bag on. But yeah, so that's my scar, and I'll have another one once that ostomy is reversed. There was a little one here. It's little teeny tiny. That was where my PICC line went in, but you won't even see that. It'll probably fade away, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just always have a little purple dot there, but that's nothing. But yeah, the ostomy is the other major change to kind of get used to, but it is going to be reversed, so it's not permanent, which is good. However, one of the most common problems with getting an ostomy reversed is that, especially after such traumatic surgery to your bowels, but is that your bowel movements or experiences get a lot worse. So I mean, I struggled for years already, so I'm just thinking, how worse could it be? But if it gets worse, then this is where you would want the ostomy back, because honestly, some of the issues that I was having before I got diagnosed, it's kind of been like a vacation having this bag, because I'm not constantly worried about the bathroom, which is very detrimental to your life, your enjoyment of life, and going out in public and just doing things in general. But anyway, like I've gotten used to the ostomy now, like changing it myself and cleaning it and all that. But we'll see how it goes. I don't have all the answers yet. I didn't have any radiation treatments in my rectum, so that may determine how bad or good everything is after the ostomy is reversed, because most of the people that report it getting a lot worse are people who had radiation therapy. I was originally supposed to have 25 treatments of radiation, but the chemo worked so well and the surgery went really well, So we bypassed all of that. We didn't have to do it. So that is good. I'll just wait and see what the surgeon says when I get checked up. But yeah, so I have a lot of questions that are still awaiting answers. But yeah, the other thing, it's more of a mental acceptance of my body than a physical one, which is just regarding sex. Sorry to interrupt the story, but I'm editing this video and realized I completely forgot to talk about the neuropathy. So really quickly, I was on the Folfox regime of chemotherapy, which one of those drugs is called oxaliplatin, and that has a side effect of neuropathy, which you feel it during chemo mostly, and it's just like it affects your nerves in your fingers and your toes and in your throat, and you have like an extreme sensitivity to cold, so you spend a lot of time drinking everything warm or hot because you just can't swallow it. For me, it felt like I was swallowing like a razor blade. And so but what happened with me after time, 6 or 7 treatments later, I just started, my fingertips start going numb. So right now even I can still feel like the tips of my fingers are numb, and my toes, all of my toes, all the way down to like halfway down my foot, it's numb. Like, you know how when it's cold outside and your toe goes numb? It's like that, but just constant. So thankfully the my what was it, the 8th or the 9th treatment, I actually started having these like severe reactions to it. So I guess my body has just like had enough. This was after the surgeries. So we decided that the last 2 treatments of the oxaliplatin part of the regime was not worth it, because this numbness in my fingers has been consistent for a few months, and there's the risk of it being permanent. So we stopped doing that one drug because it wasn't really going to determine whether or not the cancer comes back. It was the other one that I was on that was more responsible for preventing any recurrence of cancer. But anyway, so the neuropathy is getting better slowly, but yeah, anyway, I forgot to talk about that earlier. You can go back to hearing about sex. So this is where, if you don't want to hear about my sexual future or lack thereof, I guess, then you can finish the video here. But so if it wasn't obvious already, I am gay, and typically I am a bottom, so that means that I am usually on the receiving end of intercourse. Trying to keep this as PG as possible, but you know, and it's different for everyone what you can do after such traumatic surgery to your bowels. In my case, I had my rectum pretty much just removed, so they were able to connect my colon back together, but I just don't have my rectum anymore. So a lot of people, that's it. That's the end. You just can't have any sort of anal sex after that. But apparently my surgeon said that it should be okay. You just have to be careful and, you know, allow time to heal and everything, which it's been over 3 months now. But you know, this may be a little bit TMI, but I just did a little bit of my own investigation, if you will, just to see what things are like. And again, this is where I need to get some more answers, but it seems to me like it was sewn together like this small, which I don't understand. Like, if your colon is that big, why would it be sewn together this big? Like, I literally could not even get like the tip of my finger past the site of surgery. So I don't know what that means exactly, but I know that there are staples permanently that will be there forever, like holding it together. But I just don't understand why it was so tight. So now I'm literally just more concerned about how I'm going to get anything out, never mind putting things in. So maybe this is normal. I don't know. These are questions I'm going to have to get answered in a few weeks when I go back for my checkup with the surgeon. Because they're going to do like a special kind of scope and check things out, make sure everything is healed, and that'll determine whether or not they can reverse my ostomy yet. But anyway, the other sex-related problem, I guess you could say, is erectile dysfunction. So again, there was a lot of trauma done to my insides. I mean, you saw the size of that scar. You know, they literally had me splayed right open, and you know, they got to get all the way down to your bowels, so I'm sure all of my insides were on the outside, which is really gross to think about. But and there's a lot of nerves down there, especially ones that go to your colon, your rectum, your sexual organs. And yeah, so there's a risk factor there, and a lot of people do have sexual dysfunction afterwards, and it can be, you know, a year, 2 years before that goes back to normal if there's no permanent damage done. So right now, I mean, again, it has only been just over 3 weeks or 3 months, but like I can get an erection, but not fully, and it takes a lot of work, and it's impossible to maintain. So if I keep at it, I can actually, you know, finish, but which is great. That's a good sign. It means that everything is still working, but I just don't get erections anymore. I mean, at least not the way you normally would. So yeah, that could be years, up to 2 years or more before that goes back to normal. So anyway, basically I'm just thinking to myself, you know, I'm a young 40-year-old gay man who at this point in time does not seem like I could ever have sex again, which is a lot to accept, but it may not be that way. So I just have to, as everyone always says, stay positive and just be thankful that I'm alive, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If you're interested in knowing more about all of this, once I get some more answers, I am going to do like a part 2 after my appointment with my surgeon, after my checkup, maybe after the ostomy reversal, just to see how my body functions, because, you know, everyone keeps like preparing me that it could be a lot worse, and that could last months up to a year, even longer, before you kind of resume somewhat of a normal functioning butt or whatever, you know. So anyway, I just have to wait and see. But I don't know, just wanted to talk about this. I know this is not my typical type of video that I've been doing lately, but yeah, I just, you know, I like to talk about a lot of things on this channel. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go, but thanks for watching if you watched this far, and yeah, keep in touch, or I will keep in touch and let you know how things go. But yeah, until next time, see you later, everyone.